Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. I had to answer the phone. No, I mean your daughter, because I'm not sure if I actually read that line yet. So I'll just read it again to make sure I'm on the safe side.
なんだ、渚か。渚になんか用か。そんじゃねえぞてめえ。切っちまうぞ。
Did Nagisa come home or not?
それは教えられねえな。どうだ、パンを買うか。買うなら教えてやろう。
So if I buy bread that would break my teeth, I'll get information. I don't know, that may not, well, I don't have to eat it, we just gotta buy it. But honestly, if I'm not gonna eat it, why would I buy it?
あら、グランドクロス岡崎さん。
What the hell? These names that they have give us are ridiculous. I think they actually essentially get like worse and worse every time they come up with a new one. Essentially every time you see them, there's like a new one and it gets worse. How regrettable. It actually matches well with Okazaki. Okazaki.
ごめんなさい、岡崎さん。
Has Nix come home yet?
いいえ、今日はまだです。
Well now, that's a bit of a predicament.
さなえ、簡単に口を割るんじゃねえよ。
どうしてですか？
いや、それはだな。
Well, he was about to force me to go and buy some of your bread just so that I could get the information that I wanted. This guy's trying to exchange that information so he'd be able to sell your bread. Because if he doesn't, it seems nothing will be sold.
本当ですか？秋夫さん。
違うぞ、さなえ。
We're terrible people, aren't we? Well, our character here is a pretty terrible person, at least to a slight degree. But I'll be honest, I think his personality somewhat fits with mine a little bit in certain areas.
私のパンは、私のパンは。
Uh-oh, she's starting to cry.
古川パンのお荷物だったんですね。
I don't think Akio makes any of the bread here either, so really, it's not a burden, it's the only thing here. And if you're the only one making it, and if it's yours that don't sell well, something needs to be done. Maybe change who bakes it. And with that, she ran away.
さなえ。くそー。
Furukawa's father stuffed a bunch of the unsold bread in his mouth and...
俺は大好きだー。
Doesn't have the same flair as the anime did. Pretty sure there they actually tried to emulate the fact that you have something in your mouth, if I recall correctly. But then again, I haven't watched it in like 3 years, so not exactly accurate. I could be wrong. He screams as he chases after her. I was dumbfounded watching that crazy scene. Anyway, this isn't why I came here. Furukawa hasn't gotten home yet. This is serious. Yeah, who knows what happened to her? We don't know if we're actually in a good part of town. I don't know. I head outside. I heard a voice from behind me.
待ってください。宇宙と書いて岡崎さん。
What the hell? It got worse. I'm Okazaki as Okazaki written normally.
あの子、学校にもいないんですか？
I saw her head for home, but after that, I don't know where she went.
遅すぎますか？
Again, we don't know if we're in a good part of town. For all we know, we could be getting like a school days event. Oh god, why'd I have to mention that? I don't know, but I did. Oh yes, and one day I will probably do a playthrough of School Days, but I'll have to heavily edit it and censor it. Which is the main reason why it's not really at the top of my list. I thought so too.
だったら私も探しに行きます。
Is it alright for you to leave your store?
秋夫さんがいますから。
Wait. How'd you guys get back so quickly? It's been like maybe 2 minutes since you ran out crying and he chased after you with bread stuff in his mouth saying, I love this stuff. Like how he says stuff, not bread. I think it'd be much better if he's not the one watching over the store. Well, I'll go search the school then.
早苗です。
Well, Sanai, you can look wherever you think she might be. Technically speaking, we could have referred to, well, at least in English, you would generally speaking refer to as like Miss Furukawa. If they don't want you to refer to them by their first name.
わかりました。
Sanai took out an umbrella and headed into the rain. I see her off as I begin retracing my path. Excuse me, I don't know why the hell I said retracting. I see a small umbrella going back and forth near the end of the street. I see that it's a grade schooler just by looking from the end of the same street. Maybe he's searching for something. I passed by as I headed to the school. I check off each place I go. I went to the club room in the courtyard, but she wasn't there. Exhausted, I move on. If I can't find her, then it's up to Sanai. There's that kid again, in the same place. I stop and watch for a while. Suddenly, I hear the squeak of an animal, not squeal of an animal. And on the top of the wall, I see a puppy. It can't seem to get down, and it's shivering from being cold and wet. I reach out my hand to it and hold it up. I finally understand when I see a collar attached to it. I approach the kid and hand the puppy to him. Is this what you're looking for? The kid looks up and smiles.
よかった。どこにいたの?
Like right above your head. Over there. After pointing it out, I head off on my own.
あ、待って。
The kid called me. Is he going to thank me? I ignore him and pretend not to hear.
お姉ちゃん知らない?
But that word made me turn back. Who are you talking about?
お姉ちゃん、こいつ探すの手伝ってくれてるの。
Bum bum bum. I think we already know who the One-chan is. And I'm fairly certain I severely butchered that, but you know what? I don't care, to be completely honest with you. Is she your older sister?
ううん、知らない人。でも、一緒に探してくれるって。
Was she wearing a school uniform?
多分。
You don't know? Okay. Where'd she go?
わからない。
You are a very unhelpful kid.
でも、見つけたらね、ここに戻ってくるって。
Well, obviously she didn't find your puppy. I see.
どうしよ
He asked worriedly, stroking the head of his soaked puppy. Go on home.
う。え?
It's already pretty late and your parents will be worried about you. And if you don't, you'll catch a cold. The puppy too.
でも。
You've already thanked me, so go on home.
本当に?
Yeah.
ありがとうって、絶対に言ってよね。
Yeah, leave it to me.
じゃあね。
Leave it to Beaver. Why'd I say that? I don't know. My name's not Beaver. So, can't really say that technically. Well, granted, I could change the name to Beaver. So that I could actually say leave it to Beaver. But no, it's not happening, damn it. Don't know why I said that. I've never even watched the show, to be honest. I just know the name of it. Be careful on your way. The kid ran off. He's a bit simple-minded. Well then. So, when is she going to give up and come back? I just need to wait here and see. How long has it been? My hands are numb and they're beginning to hurt. Then, at last, I see a shadow in an umbrella approaching in the rain.
やっと見つかりました。元気です。
Well, I don't think you actually found it.
冷たい。
As she came back holding a tiny animal in her hands.
この子で合ってますか?
In her hands was... That's That's not what he was looking for.
岡崎さん。
She finally noticed that the one waiting for her is not the kid from before, but me.
ここに小さな子供いなかったですか？
This is where you tell her a fantasy story about how you are that kid and you manage to change your age whenever you want, or some nonsense like that. There was, and damn it, man, you're not fun. Since it's already late, I told him to go on home. Again, you're not fun. God, I would have told her some sort of silly story like that, despite the fact that it's obviously just a, like, fantasy story.
じゃあこれ届けないと心配してます。
It's not his puppy, damn it. I found his puppy, so he went home, relieved.
じゃあこの子は何なんですか？
It's a piglet. I was worried about that too.
でもこの子ガードレールの下で震えてたんです。
Doesn't make it a puppy. Like I said, that's not a puppy at all.
そうですか。
No, and if you want to know what it is, I can willingly tell you. You just have to ask. She looks down at the piglet she's hugging in her arms.
本当にバカです。私って。
Well, I mean, you did manage to mistake a piglet for a puppy. They both may start with P's, but that doesn't mean anything. Hey, are you okay?
はい、大丈夫です。
I don't think she's okay. I really don't. She bends down. You really are an idiot. Let me walk you home. I support her with one arm as I walk with her. Oh, you don't want a princess carrier there, really? I mean, granted, I don't think that would necessarily have been the better idea anyway. I think she would get even more soaked if you were to do that. But hey, just for the fun of it, you can, you know. Nothing's stopping you. Hey, anyone home? Nobody was there. No one's watching over the shop. Just what is that old man of hers doing? For the time being, we head inside so she can lay down. But she'll catch a cold if she sleeps like this. She's soaking wet and thoroughly wet underneath, too. Okay. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess if her clothes are soaked enough, they would seep through the clothes themselves. But really, you seem to know quite a bit about how she's wet underneath. But I just couldn't change her clothes here.
戻りました。
I'm relieved to hear Sanai's voice.
岡崎さん。
She's here and she's soaked wet. Please help her change her clothes.
はい、わかりました。
I leave it to her and go out. There's no longer any reason for me to stay here either. The floor in the hallway is all muddy.
いらっしゃい。ってなんだてめえか。
Furukawa's father is here.
つうか、廊下から降りてきて客も何もねえな。アホか俺は。とっとと帰れ。今日はもうやる気がしねえから閉める。
Furukawa's father curses as his soaking hair continues to drip. His cigarette has gone out too.
くぅ、今日もクソ残っちまったな。
Oh, we gotta go and scream that he said that.
持って帰るか、小僧。
No way, old man. I emphasized the word old man since he called me a brat.
くっ、愛想のねえやつだな。おう、帰れ帰れ。
Okay, okay. I stand at the entrance holding my umbrella.
おい、小僧。
It might be another meaningless parting remark, so I ignore him. At the last moment, I thought I heard a word of thanks intermixed with the sound of the rain. And then...
ブヒ。
Should I take this thing home too? Yep, so I picked it up I picked it... I can't read this line for whatever reason. Yeah, so I picked it up in my arms. That just doesn't sound right. At least not to me. But it may actually be right. It just doesn't sound right to me. And here we go. Oh, well, we're going into this world first. As soon as we're out of this little section here, I'm going to go and cut this off. I am on the windy ground. It feels like the wind was blowing from one end of the world to the other, uninterrupted. I could feel its force even within this body. The blowing wind is lifting countless lights up off the ground and tossing them about. The girl is standing there in the middle of it all. As the wind blows again, countless lights fly up from the ground. The girl gazes upon that scene. This is the world I was born into. This is the world of Fantasia. Fantasia? I don't know. I guess might be fairly close to the pronunciation of that. But I don't think I'm actually pronouncing it right. Fantasia? Or just Fantasia? I don't know. That's what I thought. This world has trees, grass, and even the stones roll around as you would expect. I think that's how it's supposed to be. However, what is this light? I certainly have no idea what this spectacle is. The wind blows again and a single light passes by me. I chase after it. It soon floats in front of me. I try to grab it. The light passes through my fingers made of junk. Nothing happens as it passes through my fingers. While I stand there dumbfounded, the girl's shadow covers me. I pointed to one of the lights. She asked, "What's the matter?" I could not give her an answer. "Are you wondering about the light?" I nodded. "The sky?" I shake my head to say no. "The ground?" No. "Just the light." I nod. "Why is that, I wonder?" The girl put her hand to her chin in thought. I wanted to do the same, but my elbow joints wouldn't bend. Consequently, my arm remains broken in an unnatural manner. To the girl who has always lived here, the light is as natural as the water and trees I am familiar with. It's a part of this world, but it is also the only thing I couldn't touch. Therefore, I thought, maybe it's like a shadow. But a shadow must have a body to cast it. If so, I wonder where that body is. I couldn't find the source anywhere. She opens her mouth and says, "In other words, this scene which you think is mysterious is, to me, not mysterious at all." "That may be true," I nod. I search deep into my own memories. Maybe in a distant past. Or maybe a distant future. I was in a different world. That's all I could recall. Whenever I try to remember, my heart always fills with warmth. What kind of place was it? I shook my head. I didn't know. Was it a place more beautiful than this? Absolutely. Were there a lot of things, and did you have fun every day? Probably. Even then, weren't you lonely? She's always been alone here. I know this is a sad place. There is nothing here, and there's nothing fun to do. That's why I was born. I guess you're right. This is a lonely world, isn't it? Hey, did you wish to be born into this world? I didn't answer. I just held on to her arm. And that was my answer. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this off here. As always, like, favorite, comment, subscribe, share, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye. Actually, go ahead and save first. And I'm not going to overwrite any of those saves over here. I'm just going to move on over to here. Yep, save there. And what is that labeled as? LP5. We'll label this LP6. Just for the sake of keeping the same naming principle. Yeah, as I said, like always, favorite, comment, subscribe, share, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.